Thank you, Sheena. We have major new developments tonight in the criminal investigations into Rhode Island State Senator Nicholas Kettle.
And tonight, both the Senate President and Minority Leader are calling on Kettle to resign immediately or be removed from office after a secret indictment unsealed in court today reveals shocking accusations.
As we first reported at noon, Kettle is now charged with extorting sex from a former Senate page. That's on top of a separate charge he's facing for alleged video voyeurism.
Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado joins us now live from the State House with the new details on the stunning grand jury indictment. Steph?
Well, Senator Nick Kettle pleaded not guilty to the 2 extortion charges against him today. He's accused of extorting a Senate page for sex back in 2011 while that page was a teenager. And that alleged victim went on to run against Kettle for his Senate seat 3 years later. Senator, are you going to resign? State Senator Nicholas Kettle silent outside Providence Superior Court after a secret grand jury indictment was unsealed, charging him with 2 counts of extortion for allegedly threatening and attempting to compel a teenage boy to commit a sex act in 2011.
It's disheartening, really.
The alleged victim was working as a Senate page at the time, where Kettle serves as a Republican from Coventry. That young man later ran against Kettle for his Senate seat in 2014 and lost. Kettle's attorney, Paul DeMeo, questioned why this didn't come up in the campaign.
If the person he ran against had some dirt, quote, and dirt, on the guy he's running against, he would have raised that at some point in time.
The extortion charges are separate from a video voyeurism case against Kettle, for which he was charged by the state police on Friday.
Basically, he sent explicit pictures of, now I believe, his ex-girlfriend to another subject out of state without her knowledge.
Both the Senate President and the Senate Minority Leader are calling for Kettle's immediate resignation. President Dominic Ruggiero also writing, "I am absolutely horrified and disgusted by these allegations. We in the Senate are deeply shaken." Kettle, flanked by another attorney, not saying what he'll do.
Mr. Kettle has no comment.
No plans to resign as a senator?
Mr. Kettle has no comment.
Can he serve his constituents with these charges against him?
Well, that'll be up to his constituents, won't it?
And the Senate President says if Kettle does not resign, the Senate will hold a vote to expel him. The Senate's off this week, so that could happen as early as next week. Now, coming up at 6, what new documents reveal about that video voyeurism case against Kettle? Live in Providence, I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
But first at 6, we have new information on the disturbing charges against Rhode Island State Senator Nicholas Kettle.
As we broke at noon, a grand jury indictment unsealed today charged Kettle with extortion. Prosecutors accused him of threatening a former Senate page in an attempt to have sex with him.
Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado joins us with the new details on that and a separate video voyeurism charge against Kettle. Steph?
Well, a number of Senator Kettle's colleagues are calling for him to immediately resign, including the Republican and Democratic leaders of the Senate. The grand jury has indicted him, accusing him of allegedly extorting a Senate page for sex. Senator, are you going to resign?
Plans to resign?
Mr. Kettle has no comment.
A grand jury has indicted State Senator Nicholas Kettle on 2 counts of extortion. Can he serve his constituents with these charges against him?
Well, that'll be up to his constituents, won't it?
The grand jury accusing him of threatening and attempting to compel a teenage Senate page to commit a sex act in 2011. That page later ran against Kettle for his Senate seat in 2014.
We believe this is a political witch hunt spearheaded by one of Mr. Kettle's former rivals.
It's disheartening, really.
State police said they couldn't comment much on this case because Kettle was indicted by the grand jury. But separately, state police have also charged Kettle with video voyeurism.
Basically, he sent explicit pictures of, now I believe, his ex-girlfriend to another subject out of state without her knowledge.
A new affidavit we've obtained says Kettle and a friend swapped nude photos of Kettle's girlfriend and the friend's wife. Detectives examined Kettle's text messages, writing in the document, Mr. Kettle stated that he needed to be stealthy and was asking the friend for advice on how to take a video without his girlfriend knowing. Kettle's attorney, Paul DeMeo, says he doesn't believe this meets the requirements for video voyeurism.
It has to be for the purpose of sexual gratification. The second issue is what it has to be. So I don't think he did that.
And so calls for Kettle to resign are mounting. The Senate president says if he does not do so, they will vote to expel him. That could happen in the Senate as early as next week, Mike and Shannon.
Steph, is there any indication the page reported the alleged misconduct at the time?
No, Mike. Senate spokesperson Greg Perry tells me that Page did not report anything at the time when he was serving as a page here in the Senate in 2011 and 2012. And Senate President Ruggiero said he's now ordered a review of that Page program. We've also learned that the Pages had a meeting last week where they were notified of their rights and told to whom they should report if there's any inappropriate misconduct. Mike, Shannon.